entire net to shoot at, and Babin was able to make the pad save.
Forehand goes backhand, and he is stopped by Babin.
Babin making 2 saves, still in the slot, 3rd save.
They each got some big shots in. That was a long fight. And for goalies, all those. And Babin with a ridiculous save.
Lugo is robbed. Save, rebound, stopped again. Babin robs the hat trick blind.
Oh, Johnny's going to be talking about that one later on.
Fires one towards the goal. That's going to be gloved by Travis Ridgen. Well, this is more like it.
This is Slangin' the Biscuit. Here's Travis Ridgen and Dave Wheeler.
Welcome back to Sling the Biscuit. The show is presented by Sheath Underwear, the greatest underwear to ever be bought, and we'll talk more about them later. In front of me is somebody that has been a good friend for a couple of years. I've referred to him as probably the greatest goalie that I've ever played with in my entire playing career. He's fought everybody from goalies, players, his own coach. I even heard he fought a guy at the concession stand in Blue Ridge one night serving up nachos. Checks all the boxes. He's also been known to muck a box or two from time to time, obviously in the context of breakfast cereal. Loves his breakfast cereal. They call him the Dark Knight. I call him a personal friend, Trevor Babin. Welcome to the show, my man.
What's up, dude? How are you?
I'm good, man.
Thanks for having me.
Dude, it's been almost 2 years to the day since the last time I saw you. It feels like.
Really?
I think so, because I left end of December when I got the first surgery, and we've been chatting obviously since then, but haven't actually seen you in person since then, so it's kind of nice to see you.
Yeah, it's
kind of.
Yeah, it's been a minute. Yeah, it's good to see you, man. How was Spain and everything? I didn't even ask you that.
Yeah, Spain was interesting, man. It was a beautiful lifestyle. Like the food was great, culture was great, people were great, everything was nice, weather was fantastic. Also, like in the kind of like mountains-ish, like almost like Kamloops or Nevada-ish.
Okay.
But hockey wasn't great.
Yeah.
It was a dumpster fire.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen a few of your reels on Instagram and stuff. But
Yeah, it was tough, dude. Dude, I was checking the other weekend. They gave up like 40 goals in a weekend. Like a 20 spot, an 8 spot, an 8 10 spot.
That's crazy.
I was like, that's tough going.
Yeah,
I'm not helping you much.
Yeah. Jeez, man.
But yeah, dude, we got lots to talk about. So obviously you're a goalie. You played for Motor City. That's how we met a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
But like, what made you want to be a goalie?
My dad kind of threw me into being a goalie. Not that I didn't want to be, but I was just, at the time when I was like 8, 9 years old, playing every sport, whatever, playing a lot of foot hockey. But one championship game in the league I was playing in, our goalie didn't show up, and we needed a goalie. And my dad was like, he'll do it. So threw on the gear. I think I got like a 4-0 shutout. And I was a street hockey goalie and obviously player for probably 2 more years after that. And then someone came to me and was like, hey, has he ever tried ice? And we were like, no. So, and having my dad's background, my mom's, they liked hockey but never played it or nothing. So they were like, ice hockey, okay. So went to the local rink, Northeast Skate Zone. And at the time, Ed Snyder Youth Hockey Foundation was run out of there. And they bring in the inner city kids and give them free gear and things like that. So I was fortunate enough to get free gear and hop on the ice, and it was all natural from there. So.
And you're born and raised in Philly, right?
Not born, but raised, yeah.
Where were you born?
Born in North Carolina.
Oh.
Yep. Then moved to San Diego, and then.
So hold on. So you're born. Give me the whole story. How do you get to Philadelphia from there? I always thought you were born and raised in West Philadelphia.
West Philadelphia, no, Northeast Philly. Northeast Philly.
Where he spent most of his days.
Yeah, right. So me and my older sister were born in North Carolina. My dad was in the Air Force at the time and was there. That's where my mom and dad met. And then my dad's from San Diego, so they went out to San Diego. And then that's where my little brother was born. And then that's when, unfortunately, my mom got sick. And then at the time, there was only X amount of doctors that knew what she had and all that stuff. So had to move to Philly. And I was about 4 or 5 when we moved there. And yeah, grew up on the block.
That's awesome. Just like picking up little treasures along the way. There's you.
Yeah, basically. Little treasures, my siblings.
So you started goalie, though, in Philadelphia when you were 9, though?
Yeah.
Did you have an idol growing up?
I had a few. I mean, hockey-wise, Ron Hextall, that was my...
Manitoba icon.
Yeah, Manitoba, yeah.
Yeah, from Brandon, I believe. Brandon, Manitoba.
Don't know where that is.
Just outside of Winnipeg.
I know
my dad's born in Brandon.
Okay.
He was a big Hextall fan as well.
Gotcha, okay. Yeah, my number was 27 for a long time. And then, recently I switched it over the last few years. I wanted to switch it to 72 because I'm a southpaw. Just switch the numbers, you know.
A silly cider.
Basically. So, yeah.
What do you think about him getting traded to the Nordiques?
I mean, when that all happened, was that before the Lindros stuff, or was
I think that was a part of the Lindros
part
trade.
of the Lindros?
Yeah.
I mean, worked out for Philly, and then he ended up coming back, but obviously they didn't win nothing.
Made it close, though, to the mug final.
Yeah, against Detroit.
Well, twice. There was 87 against the Oilers in Game 7.
Yeah, you're right, and he won the consummate.
Because I think they blew 3-1 lead, and then Gretzky came back and worked a little magic, and then 97, 98 was the Caps, and they got dusted off in 4 straight by Stevie Y.
Yeah, yeah.
It's an iconic team. I think Osgood, or was it Vernon who started for that team?
I want to say Vernon, or who'd you say, Osgood?
Osgood or Vernon?
Osgood was 97.
Yeah, what a cup final matchup, though.
Yeah, right.
So many cup final matchups.
Because then when Vernon came in, he fought Wah.
Yeah.
All that shit, so, yeah.
What do you think the greatest goalie fight of all time is? We'll get to more of the childhood stuff in a second, but I'm curious.
Hextall and Babin.
When he just came darting down and...
Oh, yeah, the way he just takes his shit off and bowls down the ice, man. Oh, that adrenaline rush, like, I couldn't imagine how that felt. Like, and then just going to whoop some ass. Like,
yeah, Felix stood in there, too.
Oh, man, Felix, I mean, you saw Hextall, he was all cut up and stuff, right? So
Would you give Potvin the edge in that one?
Unfortunately, but don't tell Hextall said that if he's watching.
That's probably one of the best goalie fights of all time. I like the Patrick Waugh, like, you here now.
Yeah.
It was Osgood, I believe.
That one was Osgood, yeah.
In 98, I think? No, it would have been 96, because you had to get the black and purple co-hose.
Okay, then I got my years mixed up.
Okay.
Because I was saying Osgood was the year before, and then Vernon came after.
Regardless, great goaltending matchups.
Whatever. But,
an amazing goalie fight.
Yeah.
They don't do them like they used to. They literally don't.
Pads are a little bigger, a little more straps.
It's tough to maneuver, too.
Yeah. I mean, you see in a few of my fights, my arms get caught up, and unfortunate that it happens, but...
Have you found any hacks, any tips or tricks for goalie fights?
Keep swinging. And
Swing harder and faster.
Don't be afraid to take a punch. You're going to get hit, you know. But other than that, it's, I don't know. I don't really, like I said, before we started, I don't try to, like, always look for fights. Do I interrogate shit? Do I start shit? Do I absolutely talk shit? Yeah. But, you know, the fights more come when something happens and it's either defending a teammate or myself, so.
So, okay, so why don't we back that up for a second? So something happens, maybe a late hit, a guy chips at you in the crease, it's on like Donkey Kong. No, it doesn't matter who it is, what team, when, where, it's on, just based on principle?
Yeah.
Player or goalie, doesn't matter?
Well, if I was a player, it'd be worse. Like, imagine, like, I mean, coaches tell forwards and D-man, you know, like, if they run their goalie, you know, do this, or if he hits our captain, do this, or, you know what I'm saying, whatever the case. And it's like, man, but if someone snows me and I tell them to shut the fuck up, I look like an asshole, like, you know, it's like, really? Like, so some of it I question just because I'm the goalie, why am I restricted to a lot of things? But I know the other side where you're the goalie, the team needs you, you know, with how things have gone in my career, you know, I've definitely been in games where I've been able to make game-saving saves or dictate how the game goes, and we end up winning and things like that. And, you know, the fights and stuff are cool, and, you know, shit happens, but obviously you gotta look at those wins and trying to just move up the ladder, and obviously that's what I want to do. So.
Well, and I think that's one thing that I really liked about you is that you question the status quo. I know that this is what we're supposed to do and this is what we've been told we're doing, but to me that doesn't make any sense. So why are we doing it that way? Why don't we do things a different way?
I'm on the team too. I'm a player on the ice. I mean, if I don't know, like, yeah, things happen in front of the net all the time, and I don't know, like someone hits one of our guys and then someone goes and cross-checks him in the back and then drops his gloves and then beats the hell out of him. Yeah. Why doesn't he look like an asshole? But if I do it...
I mean, we're a family at the end of the day, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So
but
if you're going to hurt my family member, like, I'm going to stand up for my family member.
All that, yeah. And I'm a big believer in that team aspect, and Yeah, I mean, that's really what it is. I mean, obviously, goalie is a big individual sport too. I say sport because we do a lot of things different than players, but
Completely. It's a sport within a sport.
yeah, exactly. So with that, yeah, you just got to hone those crafts and obviously keep the mindset of doing those things right. And if that bullshit happens on the side, then you worry about it when it happens. But
I totally agree. You'd be proud of me. I actually got to do a goalie fight last night.
Last night,
Yeah. I was thinking to myself mid-game, I'm like, I could go for a coffee. I'm ready for a break. And also, I'm doing the interview with Babs tomorrow. I got to bring someone to the table for us to talk about. So
Yeah.
I got that done for you.
Did you win?
Oh, dude, I fed the guy his lunch tonight. I hit him with a lunch pail on the way out.
Good for you. I saw your one. It was in the crease. Some guy tackled you or something.
The game against Toledo, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the guy buried on me, and then he came. One guy was yelling in my face. He's like, yeah. And then the other guy's like, your podcast sucks. And obviously I didn't care what the guy yelling. I told him, the podcast sucks. It's on like Donkey Kong.
Yeah.
And then I dropped the gloves and I went to hit him, but then you see in the video version, I dropped my stick and then I tripped on my stick and then all hell broke loose. So,
Yeah, that's
my bad.
funny.
Get the sticks out of the way.
Hey man, get everything out the way. You step on something, that's how you mess up.
You get so much gear in the way too. It's
Yeah, I've had a fight when I went in the SP.
against Rudabush?
Yeah, against Rhodey. Obviously, I was like not premeditated or anything, but it just happened. Team was down. We could have probably came back. I had I think it was tied 2-2. We had 45, 46, 47 shots against. So I was having a great game, but I remember he went to go play the puck. I don't know if he hit the dude on purpose or whatever the case was, but immediately my instincts, I skated forward a little bit just to, show him what's up. But then I was like, I can't do that. It's my first game.
In the SP?
Yeah, in the SP. And I look over to the bench, and I just see the coach, and he's just like, and I'm
Hands in the air?
Yeah, he's just like, and looked at him. And I was like, all right, I'll do it.
It's not a no.
And sure enough, as soon as Austin saw me, he came right down, and I was like, oh shit, it's on, it's on. So, yeah, he had 100 pounds on me, something like that. But
He's a big boy.
he's a big boy. Yeah,
Is he taller than you too?
he had a few inches on me. Definitely could barely move him around, but
Yeah. He's a
was-
big center mass.
yeah, it was. I mean, not knowing him, obviously I could do that, but I'm sure if I knew him, I probably would have never did that. You know what I'm saying? So.
Well, you fought two big boys. You fought what was the name of Binghamton? Liskowitz as well, right?
Yeah.
He's like a farm boy. He's like 280.
Yeah, dude. I mean, my attitude walks me into some ass whooping sometimes. But I think that's where I even it out with the players at least, because they're more.
Some guys.
Yeah, some guys.
Don't want to be fighting Tyler Jurich, but
No. Yeah, that fight was crazy. We were down 8-1, or I don't know, another 50-plus shot game. We're in bingo. People were chirping me left and right. I was just fed up. 10 seconds left. One of our guys dropped the gloves. I just waved his ass down.
Yep.
At center ice. I was like, let's get it.
does it ever get to you when the fans are chirping at you?
No. It was just, it's more the embarrassment. Especially if, I know our team's not letting it happen, but when we don't do nothing to not embarrass ourselves, getting smoked 8-1 or 8-2 or 9-1, 9-2, whatever it was, I didn't want to walk out there with just you suck, you let up 9 goals. No, I was going to walk out there, all right, you let up 9 goals, but we'll remember you next game because you like to whoop ass, so. But, yeah.
Have a little bit of jam to the game.
Yeah, absolutely.
Did so when you started being a goalie though, do you remember your first set? What that was?
iTech somethings maybe.
X-wing.
I wanna say silver, black and white.
With the wings.
Yeah, it had an X through it maybe.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
Jose Theodore set. I remember that.
I think so. I think that was it. But I had pads before that. They were Sherwoods that I used for street hockey and my in-house league when I was 11 years old or whatever. But yeah, and then after that, I was able to play AA that next year, going from B in-house to AA, and I was able to through Ed Snyder, thankfully, was able to get a new set of gear, and obviously being with them for a while, I was able to just get gear from them every once in a while. And
You need a good pair of underwear to keep cool, compartmentalized.
What a transition.
Comfortable, especially if you're the goalie for the Ottawa Senators. You'd be like, holy shit, we got no back checking tonight. I'm going to put my dick in my balls, my cannolis, my bocconcinis, and a nice pair of sheath underwear. Here's why. They have an incredible dual pouch technology. It's a separated compartment to put all your manly parts where they need to go so they're not touching, sticking to the side of your leg. You don't have to like peel it off the side of your leg. It's compartmentalized, it's cool, it's comfortable with the bamboo mesh. And right now, sheath underwear, you go to the link in the video description. Use the code BISCUIT69. We changed it back to the old code, by the way. It's BIZKIT 69, BISCUIT69. We'll get you 20% off the greatest pair of underwear money has ever bought. And if you're tired of your father being disappointed in you like mine is, get a pair of sheath underwear and he will be proud of you once again.
And ladies, there's stuff for you there too, so don't think that you're being shut out on this one.
yeah, so.
Good to be taken care of.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't just me, obviously. It was all the inner city kids that were struggling and couldn't really afford, I mean, because hockey's expensive as hell, whether that's the league or goalie gear. So, yeah, at that time, just having that program around, it's still around, but having that program around definitely helped me and a lot of us kids stay out of trouble.
Is that common though in Philly? Like a lot of guys are having a hard time affording hockey, and that program helped out.
Absolutely. You don't see nobody come out of Philly playing hockey. Everybody's playing ball. No way somebody's spending $2.5 grand on a fresh set of
Pads.
pro pads, just pads.
Dude, don't even get me started. The cost of hockey are just outrageous nowadays.
Yeah, it was outrageous when I was in junior and all that shit. I was just like, it messed up a few opportunities for me, that's for sure. But what can I do?
Do you think you'd be here playing in the Fed and obviously our relationship as well if that program didn't help you out get started in goaltending?
Yeah, because it wasn't just the program. It was, my family, a few friends around, like people that supported me and wanted me to not get in trouble and get into those things at the time where I was living. And I ended up having to be like homeschooled through half my life, and that kept me inside and away from a lot of bullshit too. So,
what was your childhood like though? Because I'm hearing very like grassroots, very humble beginnings.
I have a big family. I have all my family stuff like on my arms. I got family over everything, across my chest. Yeah, I'm a big believer in family. When you go through a lot of shit to where you only have each other, you don't ever forget about those people or ever want to let them go or see them struggle. Or we bash heads every once in a while, but that's because we love the shit out of each other.
Of course, men would love.
Yeah, exactly. So,
totally agree, dude. If you don't have family, you don't really have anything in this lifetime.
Yeah.
And everything we do is for family. And if you have nobody to share with, it's like, well, might as well have nothing.
Yeah, exactly. So you got to do it for the love, got to do it with passion, and obviously for the people who've helped you throughout your life. So,
your parents come to a lot of games?
No, unfortunately, because my mom being sick, she's been sick like my whole life basically, since I could remember. It's gotten like worse throughout the years, but because of that, she's only come to like a few games. She's tried to make a few trips out. She came out last year, flew out here and saw a few games. When I got called up to Knoxville and I was there for a couple games, she came to Knoxville. She flew down. She actually drove down with a couple friends, which was cool. But with all that comes some repercussions and consequences because her body can't handle it sometimes. And
like the travel aspect of things?
Travel, it's a nerve disease, so sounds, touches,
okay,
anything.
That'll be tough.
Yeah, it's tough, definitely. But she's doing all right. She's
Did I meet her when we were in Delaware together?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. She's definitely walking around. Might have been a little hunched over. Had a Flyers blanket.
All right. She made the Thanksgiving dinner, no? Or is that your dad that made the Thanksgiving dinner?
That was what, 3 years ago now?
Yeah.
4?
Whoever it was, food was great.
Yeah.
It's fantastic. That turkey leg.
I'm sure they'll appreciate it. Whoever it was.
That turkey leg hit the spot. Let me tell you. I wanted to ask you though, going to the Fed though, because you played in the GMHL.
Yep.
So how does a guy go from Philadelphia to the G and then to the Fed? If you can kind of take me through that.
So after youth hockey, I was finally going into U16 hockey and stuff like that. My first year of U16, I made New Jersey Titans national team, and they went and I was back when the AYHL was around, and it was Team Comcast and all them. And made the team, and I was like 14. I was like the youngest guy there. And I think me being the youngest guy, everybody definitely looked at me weird, you know, just because, like, I don't know, I had like no confidence at that time being a goalie. Like, I was just playing hockey for the love of it. And when I made the team, it was a big eye opener because it was like serious. Like, it was the first time I was like, oh shit, like AAA, like these dudes have like full beards already, like like thighs are twice as size as mine, you know what I'm saying? Like, from shit that went on in life, I was already becoming a little bit of a man, but from that moment, having to come out of my shell and be more expressive and, you know, damn, it was a whole different, I was playing hockey just for the love of it at that point, but at that point, you know, that was definitely the time to get started on that so I could have exposure to maybe other leagues and not the GMHL, not to diss the GMHL, but
still good hockey.
Yeah, absolutely great hockey. I mean, but yeah, when I was there, there was a lot of guys that were getting cut from the O and the OJHL and stuff like that. So I was fortunate enough to be there while it was some really good hockey. So
was there like a league that you had in mind for a goal?
Yeah, I always wanted to play in the OHL and stuff like that. And when I was on the Titans, apparently, from what I've heard, I had people tell me, I had 2 OHL scouts there to watch me for a game. Ended up sitting that game, and then never heard from them again.
Right time, right place, man.
But yeah, I ended up sitting that game, so.
Or I guess wrong time,
wrong
place.
Yeah, wrong time. So never heard from them again, and then after that I went played in the EHL for the Philadelphia Revolution. Had some great years there, definitely learned a lot. Met some people there that, you know, I wish I could talk to now and things, and kind of crazy that I played on a team there. Well, inside we call it the U19 curse. And we were an independent team, so we weren't U18, but we were like an under 19 AAA team, whatever it was. Like, so somehow though, over the last few years, like 4 or 5 of the guys from that team have passed away since then. So the reason I said, you know, wish I could talk to now and things, because, you know, people change and evolve, and so people go through stuff. But through that whole time, that was definitely good experience until more financial problems. Couldn't really stick around there anymore. They couldn't really help me anymore.
The Revolution, that's like organized more expensive AAA hockey, right?
About the same, I think. I mean, I don't know. My parents were dealing with all that at that time, you know what I'm saying? So me knowing more now, like, I wish I knew more what was going on and stuff, but what can I do? That's life right now. But yeah, financially ran into another problem and couldn't afford it. And then few scouts from the G contacted me and asked if I wanted to play junior A up there, and I said, why not? Because yeah, all my dad's side of my family's from Ontario and stuff. So as soon as it was like contacting me, it was kind of a no-brainer.
I got nothing else going on. I might as well.
Yeah, exactly. So I just wanted to play too, like I said. So.
And then you were there for 3 years in Bradford?
Yeah, I was there for 3 years. My 3rd year, I was supposed to go in the OJ, and then more financial problems, man.
Because that's around the time they started charging, right? The OJ?
All I remember is I got an email of a list of things I needed to get, and it was like jerseys, $5,000, sponsorships, $7,000, pant shell, $2,000, something else, and I had to be honest with them, like, what should we do? Like, you know what I'm saying? So it yeah, just there was another opportunity that had to go away, and thankfully Bradford took me back, and I had an MVP season that year. So
that's awesome, dude.
Yeah.
Do you know what the total costs were going to be for the OJ team?
No idea. I mean, it's probably even more now, but
of course, in the tens of thousands.
Probably.
That's crazy. Because I remember when I was playing in English River in the SI, because obviously it's SI and then NOJ, then OJHL. they were just talking about, that they started charging $500 a season now. And then it very quickly went up, as you mentioned, which now it's, I can only imagine what they're charging now.
Yeah, that was, I forget what year that was, but yeah, and at that time, like, had a whole bunch of stuff going on. Like, my mom had, like, open heart surgery, a lot of stuff going on back home. Me, obviously, like, in Canada, I was just like, you know what? Let's just not worry about this stuff. Let me just get back to playing hockey. And thankfully, Bradford was there to help me out. So
not be on the hook for a big bill either.
Yeah.
But what do you think of the cost nowadays? I know things have changed quite a bit, but I just know for like myself personally, like when I played AAA hockey last season, I remember very vividly my mom cutting a check for $5,500. I know it's Canadian money, which is like worthless over here nowadays. Right. But that was the check then, and now that same hockey is 10, 15 grand. I'm sure, whether we're talking about the Revolution or the OJ, it's all gone up the same way.
Yeah, I mean, just look at gear. I mean, I remember like wanting to buy a new set of gear like way back when, $1,800 for a set of pads. Now how much is it?
24, 25?
And that's not even like custom. You know what I mean? So, yeah.
I feel like blockers and chest protectors have gone up the most, because I remember blockers being about $225, $250. Now they're what, $500, $600? Like they're pricey.
Yeah, it's all, it's just crazy. Crazy to me.
It's not a poor man's sport by any means.
Yeah, I mean, if I ever have kids, I'll definitely, I'll urge them to play goalie and whatnot, but I might give them a damn steering wheel or something.
What do you think of,
might be more expensive.
What do you think of mixed martial arts?
That too. I'll put them in everything.
That could be good. Way more cost effective.
Yeah, all that stuff, yeah. I mean, my little brother did a bunch of MMA growing up. My dad did it growing up, so that's an option.
So who's the king of the ring at home?
Definitely my dad still.
He still whoops the most ass?
Oh yeah, he still, yeah. He'll whoop our ass and sorry. he'll still whoop some ass.
I can picture him watching one of your fights. Congratulations, son. The second toughest man in this house.
I mean, yeah, he gets excited just as me. I mean,
yeah, I've met him. He's a passionate man.
Yeah, definitely.
He's a good man, but he's a passionate man.
Yeah, good dude.
Shout out to Mr. Babin.
Yeah, it's my pop.
But then how do you end up in the Fed, though, from the GMHL? Because you were with the legendary, the iconic Battle Creek Rumblebees.
For 2 games.
2 games.
2 games.
Short and sweet. Part of the worst team in professional hockey history. It's actually an accomplishment that they had. They went 1-60?
I don't even know.
They hold the record.
Yeah, they hold the record.
And then you end up playing for the Delaware Thunder.
Well, Elmira first in COVID, which...
The Enforcers?
I mean, yeah, but I don't really count that. I was 20 years old, 4th string, all these coast guys and stuff that came down, and I was just there practicing. And I tore my groin that year, which sucked. But coming into the Fed is my 3rd year in the G. I didn't hear the Fed until I got to the G, actually. And my goal in life was obviously like make it to the NHL, but to play pro hockey also. And whether that be like the A, the Coast, whatever that might be, they're like, yeah, there's the SP and the Fed. I'm like, the hell? Like, okay. And at the time, backtrack, my 1st year in Bradford, my boy Stefan Timofeyev, he's on Norfolk now. Perfect example. He came from the G, Fed, SP, and now he's a mainstay in the Coast. Went to A camps. And like, since I've met him when I was 17, 18 years old, whatever, I've been like, I'm gonna follow that dude. And whatever he does, I'm gonna do my damnedest to, make my way to try to get to the point that he's at. And along that way, I've met other pro guys and NHL guys stepping into the pro hockey realm, and me just being a damn sponge, I've been able to learn from all those guys that I've met and do things that work for me. And yeah, I mean, it's definitely been a ride for sure. So, but from the G to the Fed, like I said, I was in my 3rd year. The coach there ended up calling me and was like, hey, we need a goalie. I've heard about you. I forget how he said he heard of me or something, whatever. His coach's name is Adam Steo. Shout out to him for bringing me there. But he brought me in, and we were playing Danville, and for 2 games. I remember I started one game, we lost 3-2, but it was like their closest score they've had or some shit like that, and it was like 50-something shots, like whatever the case was, like 60 shots, whatever. And I don't think I started the next game, but I went in like from the second period down, and I think I had a shutout, but we were already losing. But from that point, after that, their goalie came back from injury. I went back to Bradford to finish out junior. And then when COVID came out and all that shit, and the expansion draft with Elmira, every team, I guess, from the year prior had to put X amount of players on their list that those teams that were playing in COVID could draft. And sure enough, Battle Creek put me on the roster with the other starting goalie out of my 2 games that I played. And Elmira picked me up.
And then you played one game and then you tore the groin?
So I tore it right before training camp.
Okay.
And I forced myself to play a game which we won in a shootout, which was even worse. And ended up having to sit for a while.
You told me it was, what, 4 or 5 months? It's a long recovery?
I'm not even sure. I think that's how like the season how long the season lasted. But yeah, for that whole time, I had a bruise that was like just black and blue from here and then turned yellow as it was healing and stuff. And it was just, yeah, it was probably some of the worst pain I've ever been in. So
just like sharp pain?
Not really being able to like push off of anything or receive any pressure. It was just, yeah, it was a...
It affected your day-to-day life, though, right? I would assume?
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
It's a supporting muscle for walking around. And
yep. It hurt when I sleep. It hurt with everything, so.
You can't roll over in the bed?
No.
That's the worst.
Stuff. Yeah, it was pretty bad at the time, but yeah, so.
And then you go to the Delaware Thunder with Mr. Penns.
Yeah.
How'd you end up there?
So I actually tried out for Binghamton, and they cut me. I was the last cut. It was kind of one of those things where everybody thought I was going to make the team, all this, I haven't made a name for myself, playing 2 games in Battle Creek and only being with Elmira for COVID, so nothing ever came about. And then, tried out for bingo, got cut, and I was like, you know what? I'm just going to play college hockey. I'll just play ACHA Division I. I'll just go to school, have something to fall back on, because at this point I was just tired of things not going my way and not knowing, obviously, like if I knew now, or if I knew back then what I know now, I would have definitely suck it up, like you'll be all right. But then I was just like, I just want to play, let me go to school.
But you're learning as well, right, as you're going through it?
All that stuff. So I applied to Grand Canyon U, just back out that way where my dad's from. Had all these things set up, and probably like a day before I was supposed to call like the academic advisor to get things set up, Charlie Penns calls me and was like, hey, our starting goalie's down. We're going to Carolina tomorrow. You want to come play for us? I was like, why not? Go to Delaware.
This is senior?
Yeah, senior. Go to Delaware, practice, went to Carolina. Those 2 games, they were like, yeah, you're our starting goalie. I played every game since.
You were dominant that season, too.
Yeah, it was crazy, but my numbers don't show it.
Well, it's hard to tell when you're getting 70 shots a night, but on a balance of probability, when they're giving up 30 grade A chances, pucks are going to go in.
Yeah, it was wanted to mention like the gray sweatpants and white sock combo we had going on.
We're both matching?
Yeah. I got the Nike Jones on, though.
Yeah, yours are nice. I just ordered some on Black Friday deal the other day.
Oh, okay.
So nice. I'll be more like you next week when they come in the mail. If Canada
you got to untuck them a little bit.
You don't like the tuck?
No, just a little bit.
I don't know. I like it like that. Makes my ankles look a little bit thicker. Personal preference. But anyway, sorry. So you're in Delaware, you're getting 70 shots a game. This is one thing I think a lot of people don't actually understand, though. Like you and I both know objectively, looking at the footage, looking at how things were going at that point in time, you're one of the better goalies in the league at that point in time already, even though the stats show, what, like an 80, whatever, not great stats.
Yeah, over 4 goals against or something like that.
Probably even more than that,
Yeah.
but people don't understand that it's an extremely offensive league. And I think the number one piece of feedback that I've heard people say about you is that is the turning point when you went from an okay goalie with Battle Creek and Elmira to like, that's when you turned the corner and went on the trajectory that, obviously we met and I saw in Motor City. Yeah. And why I call you Mr. Consistent, the guy that never has a bad game, ever. Guy travels 12 hours in the bus. We leave at midnight, plays 3 games in 3 games, has the Olive Garden all-you-can-eat soup and salad for pregame meal, and he still puts it out there and he performs, which
it's all mindset, man.
It's super admirable.
Oh, I appreciate that.
Was there but you finished though in Delaware, and then they had the expansion draft, and so for those that don't know, new teams come in, players or teams say, hey, we're going to protect 10, 12 guys, everybody else is up for auction, and then they go to whatever teams want to pick them, usually 1, 2, maybe 3 teams or 4 teams to come in, and that's how Motor City assembled their roster and other teams, so on and so forth. Was there any contact beforehand when you come into Motor City?
Yeah, they called me right up, and they were like, hey, we know a lot about you. We want to build our team around you, and it was first time in my life that like someone came to me and was like, hey, we want you on our team, no bullshit, like, besides obviously Delaware, but I had to like show that right away. It was the first time like, all right, I did what I had to do. Someone's obviously approaching me for another opportunity. And so, yeah, they called me right away and they were like, yeah, we're in the expansion draft. We want you to be our first pick. Just gave me the whole lowdown, what was going on, and I was like, yeah, I'm all in. I'm excited for it. So I didn't really care who was coming in. I was still new to the league. Like, Delaware was me just getting my name out there, and obviously the saves and stuff. The saves were one thing. The fights definitely helped, because
to get your name out there, you mean?
Absolutely, because I was on a longer leash at that, my first year. So
in Delaware, you mean?
In Delaware, yeah. So yeah, when I say first year, I say Delaware because that's when I actually played, and then my second year, I say my first year of Motor City. But whatever,
I got you.
I'll be more specific. But yeah, all that stuff definitely made that little bit of a name for myself, and was blessed that Motor City came calling, and obviously I've been happy here ever since. So,
because I remember talking to Field when he signed me to it, to the team. I remember, we talked about details, and then I said, "Oh, who else do we have?" He's like, "By the way, dude, we got this Babin guy. This is the biggest steal. Nobody understands how good this guy is. He's going to be our starting goalie."
See, I don't even know half of this shit. Like,
yeah, I literally,
people say that.
He was telling me this on the phone. I remember thinking to myself, A, good to know. B, well, I guess I'm not playing many games, if even it was to begin with. But
man, yeah, they didn't tell me about anybody else coming in. They were just like, we want you here, get here, want you to play. Say no more, I'm here.
I don't think it really matter. You could have had my mom backing up for the night. It would have been fine.
Yeah, and then, with that, when people give you those things, you never want to mess those things up or fail on those opportunities or not show what you can do. So as soon as anything came my way, take full advantage, hop right on it, and then definitely just be humble and thankful that it all happens,
And like, thanks for believing in me. I'm not going to prove you right, and I'm going to deliver for you.
Yeah,
the way that you expected I would.
Absolutely.
And you absolutely did. Because I think that was the first season you had 1,000 saves, 1,500 saves that season. You led the league.
That was Delaware.
Was it Delaware?
Yep, that was Delaware. Delaware, it was like, close to 1,500 saves.
It was a busy season.
It was a very busy season. Busy season, but like, think about like practices. Like, I only missed probably a few practices just because of like overuse of ligaments and stuff and things, but.
Well, tell me what you think about this. Because, so this is something that I hear from a lot of people. Like, even, with the senior team I'm playing on in Fort Wayne, a lot of guys talk about, oh, I'd like to play in the Fed. And I explain to them, I don't think you understand what the Fed is about. Like, the Fed is not for the faint of heart. It is a very difficult. I mean, I never played anywhere near as many games as you did. I mean, I was your hot dog boy between periods. Like, we had the media time. I was, oh, here's your towel, Babs. Here's your water. Like, that was my job, to be your supporting guy, which I did enjoy. And I think there was a mutual.
Appreciate all that.
Well, there's a level of mutual respect that I think made it very enjoyable.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I knew my place, you knew your place, and we worked to each other's strengths.
Absolutely.
But I think a lot of guys don't understand that, like, when we're leaving on the bus at midnight and we're driving 11 hours to Binghamton, and then you got 15 minutes to get your stuff on, we're doing morning skate, hour and a bit, whatever, back for the Olive Garden post-game meal or pre-game meal, quick nap, play the game, back to the hotel, play again, back to the hotel, play again at noon. Now we're going to leave, and you're doing that every single week, plus the hour and a half Monday to Thursday, 9 to 10:30 or 10 to 11:30. Like that's hard.
Yeah, and you wonder why the guys in the NHL get paid millions.
I mean, they're traveling first class, and we're traveling on buses.
All that, but it's definitely the level of dedication that they got and what they do for their bodies that definitely take them to a whole nother level. And obviously there might be some guys that slack off more than others or might not do certain things or as much, but obviously you live and you learn through all that and learn what works for you and what you need to do to be prepared.
Do you find anything that works specific for you to maintain that schedule and that grind?
It's all a balance because I have life and then hockey. And for the 2.5 hours that I'm in a game or the hour and a half I'm at practice, what am I going to do thinking about all the other bullshit in my life where I'm on the ice taking pucks to the face? You know what I mean? So I've been really good at being able to balance that out, like get to the rink, leave all that aside, and be able to, you know, do my job or be a good teammate and have a positive attitude in the locker room. It's not all rainbows every day, but I definitely try to come in with a smile at least on my face and just no matter what's going on. And as soon as you hit the ice, all that just goes away and you're doing what you want to do and what you love. So why think about all the other crazy stuff that's happening in life when you're playing hockey?
It's kind of magical though, isn't it?
Yeah.
You could have, I found at least anyway, you can have dark things happening, whether it's, you know, you split with the girlfriend, family troubles, financial hardships, whatever it is. You get to the rink and it just all goes away and it's just right to business. Obviously coming out of the rink's a little bit different.
Yeah.
But it's that magical release.
Yeah. It's it's definitely weird. I mean, I could be down in the dumps thinking about something, especially on a drive, because like I'm always in my head thinking stuff, but as soon as I get to the rink and see one of the boys, like just you can change your whole attitude just like, well, at least I can.
Yeah.
I could just change it just like that, and then you wouldn't suspect nothing's going on with me or outside of hockey. So.
And I agree too, because I don't know if you feel the same way. I look back at like all the teams that I played for, junior, college, in the Fed, whatever. I think that locker room we had at the start in Motor City, that was like the best group of guys I've ever been a part of. Like it was always fun. It was always good times. It was always, for the most part, positive.
Yeah, I mean, it was always positive. It's just
for the most part. I mean, there's adversity with every single team.
Yeah, obviously, but it's definitely I mean, so many guys, or a few guys went that year too. So I mean, it got, as every team does, they get better. So I mean, the morale got better. Everything just got better, and it was fun the whole time. It was definitely fun the whole time. I remember from camp, you being there, to a few other players, and obviously you not being there, other guys that aren't there now, and guys just come and go, and that's just how hockey works. And just got to learn to have fun in between those moments too.
I was talking to Everett a while ago about exactly that. It was probably about a year ago. And he was kind of saying the same thing, that we had the greatest locker room chemistry ever at that point in time. And he said, mark my words, I'm going to reassemble that team this season. And he's pretty much done that.
Yeah, he texted me, asking me what I was doing. And I was...
Well, you were a part of the team, so it makes sense. All right, Babin. All right, we got to get him too now.
Yeah, so...
Those were exciting times, though, dude.
Yeah, fun times.
Let me ask you this, though. I don't think I've ever asked you this. What was your first impression when we met? Because obviously we have our relationship now and how things have gone, but...
Yeah, crazy, and I never heard about you until I knew I was coming to Motor City, and I was, who's the other goalie? It's Trevor, and look you up. Oh shit, you make YouTube? No, whatever. So, and not that I never heard of you, but I've heard other people like say stuff about you, but I've never been like judgmental because I was like, I never met him yet. Like, the hell I got to say about him? Like, so once I met you, I was just like, cool dude.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, of course, man. So, and then obviously we hit it off, and us not even being goalie partners, but just being on the ice, and then me picking you up from whatever that house was on the little lake and stuff.
Oh, Bill's guest house.
Yeah, Bill's guest house.
That was a beautiful house too.
Yeah, getting Starbucks and all that shit. Like, yeah,
Have your morning coffee runs?
Yeah.
Well, if you get coffee, I get the 3 ice water cups.
Yeah, whatever it is. Yeah, I needed coffee, so you needed the water.
Yeah. I already made coffee beforehand. I said, yeah, you want to go to Starbucks? Yeah, sure thing. I already made coffee, but I just need some waters.
No,
you can buy coffee. But yeah, those are good times, dude. Those were really good times.
Definitely.
The one story I like to tell too is I remember, I think we were playing Port Huron at home. Obviously, you're playing and I'm working the gate.
Yeah.
And I remember after the first period, because I always ask you, like, do you need anything? Is there anything I can do to help you? Right, whatnot. I'm like, man, I'm really hungry. I could use some food. It's like, you need some food? It's like, yeah, I could use anything. Okay. Rip off my gear, throw on my slides. I go up to the concourse. I'm like, hey, can I get like a hot dog and a piece of pizza? Boom, get the hot dog and the piece of pizza. They come running back. One of the guys is like, what are you doing? You can't be getting pizza. Oh, no, Babs needs it. He's hungry. And I delivered the hot dogs and the pizza.
If you could know the amount of times I've had somebody run and go get me food during the game, from that point all the way till now.
That changed it.
So many times. It's been like, even if I eat before, first period I'm starving. Like, so, yeah.
Who do you ask now?
Anybody, any of the healthy scratches, or even anybody. Anybody that's around me, I'd be like, hey, if I give you my wallet or something, can you go give me like a few slices of pizza or like whatever. So, yeah, I'll go whisper it to him or something. But
you ever guys talk back and say, no, I'm not doing that?
Hasn't happened.
No.
But I always ask politely too. I'm not like, hey, I'm hungry, rookie, go get my shit. Like, no, never been like that.
Did that ever drive you nuts? That really irked me when I saw guys doing it. Like, I have vet status, I have X amount of games, you're a rookie, do what I say, or else.
Yeah, it did to an extent. Like, with certain things I could see it, but with like general life bullshit, like how could you put that into effect with being a vet when we? Yeah, I've seen it my first two with Elmira and being with Delaware, but I'll mess around and be like, hey, rookie, go make me a coffee or something, like something dumb like that. But I would never, like, in a serious manner, make a rookie do something. Like, you know what I'm saying?
It's respectful.
Yeah, you're a player too on this team. I'm not gonna degrade you or.
Yeah, I remember a couple different times with different Fed teams, Watertown, Mississippi, whatnot, when a certain player or a certain guy would do that exact same thing. Like, I have X amount of games played, therefore so and so should do this. And I just look at like is that necessary? Like we function on respect, right? Like men, like all we care about really in this world is respect.
Yeah.
And that totally goes against all that and building that morale. So I shake my head at guys that do that. But I do get it for certain things. Like, hey man, I'm hungry. I'm gonna skip ahead of the line of you. Is that okay?
Yeah.
All right, fine.
That's normal, like team shit. Like food gets here at the hotel, guys who have more GPs go first, rookies go last. Like.
Or even if you're like 3 games ahead of me, it's like, okay, that's fine. But when the guy with 1 game played is going ahead of the guy with 300 games played, I'll see you in court on Tuesday.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. See you in court on Tuesday.
You remember fining me? Because I remember you gave me a good fine one time.
I know. What was it for?
The chicken fingers. Well, the 5-piece chicken tender basket. Because
I remember that because I remember thinking like, that's just a stupid fine. Didn't even have to do that.
Well, because I got sent by, I think it was Colts. He was like, go get me some chicken fingers. And I said, okay. So I got him some chicken fingers, and I was like, well, I'm going to get myself some chicken fingers.
No.
And then, you gave it to me in court on Tuesday. Like, Trav, you can't be going to get guys that are playing chicken fingers and also bring yourself some chicken fingers or whatever it was. Maybe it was something along those lines.
That messes up what I say, because I always have people go get me food in the game and stuff too, so stupid that I did it.
You're like, what do you call it, like a climate change activist. I'm going to fly around the world and tell everybody how bad climate change is, but then I'm also going to do it while flying on my private jet. So and as long as you're up here, it's totally fine.
Cool.
But actually, you know what, now that I think about it, I think we talked about fighting earlier. Mm-hmm. You fighting, I think, is the only reason that I got any playing time in Motor City. Because I got lucky and I backed up 2 games where I think you ran out of sticks because you smashed them all in the 1 game, and then you fought in Watertown.
Smashed them all in 1 game? That makes me look bad.
Well, Because I think, well, you only brought, I think, like one or two to the Port Huron game the one time, and then I think you whacked one or two. And then you came to the bench, and I think Gordy was like, hey, Trev, where's your sticks? And I was like, I don't know, I don't think he likes my sticks. And then I think you just kind of blew Gordy off, and Gordy's like, just get in there for the last like 2 minutes.
Oh,
Okay.
huh, I don't even. I remember the Watertown one where I fought, but the stick one, I think I only came with like one stick. Ended up breaking in warm-ups, and I had to like, I think it could be a different game. But yeah.
Regardless, there was no sticks left to the end of it.
It's that Fed inventory for you, but yeah.
That's why you got to be the better goalie, and then you get the top of the line sticks that goes to the second and the third, which don't last very long.
You got to work your ass off to do that. So.
And your sticks last long, and then they spend more in the budget.
There you go.
Which is nice, but
yeah. So
I was really looking forward to it. I know we talked about it last year, but when I got dished to Watertown, and then we were going to play each other, I think maybe like end of October, middle of November, whenever it was. We were talking about them. Hey, maybe you want to go. This might be kind of fun. Play each other, and then I got dished out of there. Like I think a couple days before you guys came to town.
Oh, okay. And then where'd you go after that?
Mississippi.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I remember. I didn't hear about it until we got to Watertown that you weren't there. I was like, damn, I'm supposed to be playing Trav.
Yeah. Well, they Port Huron, and then they traded me to.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Yeah, I heard all about
Watertown.
That
Yeah,
but I was just like,
45 minutes, shortest stint on any team in minor pro hockey history. They can only stand me for 45. They made an Instagram post. They're like, thank you for your time. We appreciate it. We'll never forget the memories. I think that was Johnson who made that post. That was pretty funny.
Really?
Yeah.
Hey, shout out to him.
Appreciate it.
Being able to do that.
We were in Delaware on the road trip, and I remember you played the Saturday night game, and then you're like, hey man, I think I might be getting called up at the intermission. You're like trying to book flights. It was flights, right?
Yeah,
I
flights.
think, yeah. Then you're trying to book flights to Knoxville for your debut.
Yeah, I remember in the locker room, they called. They're like, yeah, we can fly you out here. And I think I was there for 2 games. They had me sit the first one. And then, so flew down there. Went to Roanoke. And yeah, it was just one of those things where you give me an opportunity, I was going to take it all the way. And
240 is not bad.
yeah, it was like 44, 45, 46, something like that. So, but yeah, I think it was like 2-2, 3-2, but rest is...
Have you had any goalie fights since then?
Goalie fights? No, but I've tried.
No luck?
No luck.
If you could find any goalie, who would it be? If you could pick one guy that you'd like to fight. Somebody that you've asked to fight that said no, and you're like, well, I kind of like to go. I think we should. This could be good for everybody here.
There's been a few, but like, looking at it now, like, I don't know. It's just like being in the game, it's just a switch that kind of goes off, and you're not looking at him as a person. It's just, he's on the other team, and you want to
it's time
mess
to
him
go.
up. And so, yeah, I don't know. It's just, so looking at it now, like we're talking about it, do I want to fight anybody? No. But.
Anybody turn you down?
Yeah, I've had a few people turn me down.
Name drop or no?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll let you know when we're finished playing. But yeah, few players have said no. Goalies have definitely said no. But again, that's just me in the game of hockey. I'm sure if I knew most of these guys outside of hockey and knew who they were as people, probably would never fight them.
Well, I think that's the beauty of it, though. Like, we can be on the ice, and we can have an altercation, we can have a fight, a brawl, whatever.
Yeah.
Off the ice, it's just business.
Yeah.
And just totally draw that line and just chum it up.
Yeah.
I mean, some guys take
to
a
an
little...
extent. I mean, some players have said some shit about like family and like they'll go deep, and I'm like,
it's a little over the line.
Yeah, I'm like, I don't care if you tell me I suck or I look like this or ask me who are you, like type shit like that. Like, but
Where do you think that line is, though? Because I would say anything outside of family goes. Anything. As long as it's not about family, do whatever you want.
Family or race. Absolutely.
Anything else come to mind?
Anything else you can hit me with? I've heard.
What's the best trip you ever heard?
Best trip I've ever heard.
I know you've
I
heard
don't
a few.
know. I don't think they get to that point because I hit them with the blocker before they do.
Before their mouth even opens?
Exactly. But I've had more like chirps from fans, like people DMing me and shit, like more than players. Like players, it's always just like, you suck, you're a mental case, you can't play, learn to stop a puck, like you can't stop a beach ball, like all the normal, you know, shit like that. But if you throw a beer at you.
You've been hitting the head with a beer bottle?
Not hitting the head, but I've had it thrown at me.
Okay, just
last
missed?
year in playoffs when that whole thing with bingo happened, I had some popcorn thrown at me. That was funny.
Okay.
Yeah, that's all the PG stuff that I could say.
Well, how long do you have left, do you think, playing-wise? Because you're in your 5th year?
Technically, yeah, my 5th year. Yeah.
And you're 3 years, well, 2.5 years younger than me. You're 26.
26, yep.
How long do you think you got left?
Shoot, I definitely want to make hockey my life, but you know, if I'm still in the Fed by the time I'm 30,
might be
probably time. Yeah, might do something else. But I'll always have hockey in my life and coach and things, but I'll worry about that when the time comes because my focus is still on trying to at least get to the coast and just keep working up the ladder. And
you played preseason games. You gotten real close.
Yeah, absolutely. They already, having them tell me what they've told me, and I just need to get back to playing and winning games. So
that's awesome, dude.
Yeah.
When the time does come, do you have any idea what you're going to do?
A bunch of
coaching?
things coaching. A bunch of things come to mind. I'm do a lot of things creatively. You know, music, drawing. Love working out. I love coaching. I love coaching players too. I always tell everybody, like, I'm not being a goalie. I'm playing player somewhere else. You know, so I'm a big believer of the universe too. So whatever comes my way, I'm sure it'll benefit me.
And God gives you signs, gives you little hints.
Absolutely.
Little pathways to take down.
Exactly. And that's all my journey's been, is just a path that I know it's different from everybody else's, and I'm just doing what works for me and
chasing down your dream.
Exactly. That's all I'm doing.
When you goalie coach with Bill too, right?
Here and there. He's been asking me this season, but right when I got here, a week later, I did
busted your ankle.
So, but yeah, he's been asking me. I definitely should do it more, but just haven't gotten around to it.
Okay. Well, shout out to goalie coach Bill.
Yeah, shout out to Bill.
Hope you're well and miss you, man. Well, anyway, this has been Sling the Biscuit. This is my boy Trevor Babin. If you want to see more of the show, we do new episodes every single Sunday at 11 a.m. Eastern. That's 10 a.m. in the Prairies, Winnipeg, 9 in Calgary, 8 in the Pacific Northwest Coast. Thanks for watching the Sling the Biscuit. If anybody wants to find Babs, you can find him on Instagram at TrevorBabin30.
Trevor_Babin 27.
Close. Hextall number.
Hextall. Come on now. 30. Where'd you get 30 from?
Anyway, thank you very much for watching. We'll see you in the next episode.
Yeah, appreciate y'all. Thank you for having me. Definitely an honor. Thank you, Trav.
Awesome,
for having me.
That was good, dude.
Awesome, man.
That was good, Tom.